You know, for all the flaws Bedrock has, one feature I absolutely like the look of is inviting all your friends to your offline world. See, I didn't know this, but you can literally press this button right here and invite all your friends from across every platform Bedrock is available on, and all of this for free. Aside from making me wonder why you'd even need a dedicated server to get you and your buddies on the same world, most importantly, why isn't this a thing on Java? Must be because it's impossible, right? Like this sort of thing just can't be done. Worldhost, created by Gamer32, allows you to share either a public domain to your friends to join on, like E4mc, as well as just a friends list for others who use this mod, like Essential does. And I tracked down its developer for an interview.
I am Gaming32. I write Minecraft mods. Probably my most popular mod I've made is Worldhost.
So let's talk about this mod, what it is, how it works, and how to get it working. And if you like these kind of deep dives, feel free to click that little subscribe button down there. Either way, let's find out about Worldhost. First up, what is Worldhost? Well, as the name implies, it's a simple mod that lets you host your offline Minecraft world to your friends for free, with a built-in friends list like Essential. But unlike that mod, not everyone needs to have Worldhost installed in order for it to function. Released on March 11, 2023 by Gaming32 and available for all major loaders up until 1.21, with Forge support seemingly being dropped as of 1.21. If you're new to modding and planning to use this mod, you're going to have to either install a mod manager like CurseForge or wasnt, or my favorite MultiMC, or if you're gonna download the jar file, you just install the mod loader yourself, then drag it into your mods folder and boot up the game. Don't forget to up your RAM usage up to 6 at the very least, as you are both the server and the player at once. Once installed, you can click this little button to open up your world to your friends. Fill in a port, I use 25565 as that's the standard Minecraft port, and done. All you need to do is either invite your friends who also use this mod, or use this command to get the IP to the relay server. So far, so good. But that friend list, it seems a bit like Essential's way of doing things, right? Well, that's not by accident.
I used to use Essential mod to do something similar, but for various reasons I became disillusioned with Essential, so I decided to create my own mod that doesn't have all the extra stuff that Essential has.
You kept the friends list part of it.
I actually took a lot of inspiration from how Bedrock Edition does world sharing. So on Bedrock Edition, you have a friends tab. When people play their world, they can invite you to it, and then you can join their world from the friends tab.
Man, you Bedrock players have it easy, don't you? We're out here having to host dedicated servers for the smallest SMPs, downloading mods in order to play together, and you guys just have it baked in. So cool. If only they fixed that bug where you literally fall through the floor, and that game would be very neat. So compared to Essential and E4mc, this does seem a tad more difficult to set up. As with Essential, it's literally just inviting other people with the mod, and with E4mc, it just shows you the IP straight away. But let's be honest, how difficult is typing a command in the command bar? But that's a simple version of how it works. And you know me, let's dive into how this mod actually works. In my video on Essential, I explained the reason why you can't just open up a server on your desktop and have your friends connect to you, as you and your entire household share the same public IP, with your router routing traffic behind the so-called NAT/firewall combo, which needs you to open up a so-called port in order to form a connection. This is what we call port forwarding. Essential gets around this issue by using something called the ICE protocol, a WebSocket technology used by communication software like Discord and TeamSpeak, to form a direct connection or relay connection, and in the case of E4mc, this mod gets around it by using the quick protocol used by YouTube, for example, to relay your connection through a self-hosted server. But Worldhost uses something different, something called UPnP, or Universal Plug and Play. This protocol allows devices to automatically connect to your LAN and then the wider internet, but it also enables programs to open up a temporary hole in your network, as before UPnP, getting anything to talk to each other, let alone the internet, on the same network required a ton of work, and the average Joe could accidentally open up port 21 and let anyone in. The way Worldhost uses this technology is by asking your router to go ahead and open a port on a number you just filled in on that field. Your router then does the port forwarding for you, and done. Simple as that. By default, UPnP is enabled, but a lot of people turn this off. So if this method fails, Worldhost will try to form a proxy connection kind of the same way E4mc does. This of course causes some latency as it's not a direct connection, but why did Gamer32 use UPnP?
You chose to go via a UPnP slash tunneling approach. How did you settle on that kind of an approach?
Well, UPnP allows your friends to connect directly to you, which avoids any latency whatsoever. I know it's used by at least one other game, which is Mario Kart Wii.
That's very specific, man.
Like it's simple and it works about half the time.
So it's a simple solution, providing a straight connection. Coolio. With that out of the way, let's get to another cool thing about this mod. Some of you might be familiar with a project called Geyser, and if you're not, this project allows Bedrock players to connect to Java servers. And while this sounds awesome, and it is, Worldhost aims to use it to be able to invite Bedrock players onto your Java world.
How are the planned features with Geyser coming along? Are those already fleshed out? Are they already baked in? Are they in the development stage? Where are they at?
They're currently in development. It's actually a separate mod that you will have to install because it's very large, and it can only work with latest Minecraft because Geyser only supports latest Minecraft.
With this mod installed, you'll be able to have your friends finally enjoy the superior Java version. No, I'm just kidding, okay? Don't kill me. Or am I? Either way, it's so cool that a singular mod by, again, one developer was able to do this. And that's not the only planned thing. See, a lot of you in my comments mentioned that you can't use E4mc with, like, simple voice mod, as that mod itself requires a port to be opened. And the other reported issues with Essential and other mods not working very well, well, it seems Gaming32 has those concerns in mind.
It's supposed to work with pretty much any other content mod, though mods that use other additional networking, such as simple voice chat, currently don't work. Yeah, so it should work with other mods, and if it doesn't, I fix that or try to.
You mentioned simple voice mod. Is there plans in the future to get some sort of way of getting that over the server as well?
There's not exactly plans. It's kind of I'm trying to think of a good way to do it, and if I do think of one, it will definitely be added.
So it's you would like to more than you want to.
Yeah, I would love to do it, but I can't think of a good way to.
Alright, that's it. This mod is the best thing ever, right? Well, of course, there are some issues. While UPnP is very user-friendly, there is almost a rule in cybersecurity that you have to balance a triangle of security, usability, and cost. UPnP is very user-friendly, but it also kind of makes it unsafe. So UPnP doesn't authenticate any request for a connection at all. It just allows all attempts for a connection to go through, no questions asked. So if a program asks the router to open up a UPnP port, and that program happens to have a vulnerability, you might be at risk of somebody exploiting that to do some harmful stuff to your device. However scary this sounds, realistically, the chances are small, as it requires a malicious person to have your public IP, know the port that is open, know the specific program and version you are using of that program that has the vulnerability in it, and how to exploit that vulnerability. If you're using IPv6, this becomes even more difficult as typical households have about thousands of addresses, and any device might have multiple addresses associated with it, making it much harder for a person to target you. And like I talked about again in my last two videos, even if somebody found the port you and your friends were playing Minecraft on, they can't really do so much. As far as we know, there is no big RCE exploits in vanilla Minecraft as of right now. So security wise, this is still as safe as it can get, while gaming at least. And with the proxy server being open source and available here, you can audit or even host this connection yourself to make sure that the proxy fallback server is as secure as you want it to be. But that being said, let's get back to Worldhost. I think everybody understands that Java isn't the easiest language to code in, but doing something like this when you're not only bridging the internet connections, but attempting to go cross-platform as well, is bound to net you some headaches. And for gaming, that wasn't any different.
Some of the biggest difficulties came from working with WebSockets initially. I have since completely gotten rid of the WebSocket usage. That was a major rewrite. I had a major version bump, and since then it's been significantly more stable.
And while these problems can be really, really annoying, it's important that you don't give up. As Gaming said, he had to throw out the entire first go at this just because it wouldn't work. And that's okay.
What would your biggest advice be to those people who want to get into Minecraft modding, maybe do what you do, or maybe do a completely a different side of sort of mods? What would your advice be to maybe a younger self of you?
Well, start out as basic programming things like don't give up, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to use Google. Google is very, very important. And also, don't get overwhelmed with large code bases, because Minecraft is a very large code base.
And I think that's some good advice to leave it on. So with that being said, I was Lunar, you were very awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, I would like to thank all the Pebbles and all the YouTube members, all the patrons, everybody who's watching. I would like to thank you all. If you're new here, I have a Patreon where the full interview with Gaming32 Uncut is uploaded to. You can enjoy that right now. And for the YouTube members, there is some bloopers. The new one is coming up in a few weeks. We're working on it. We're very excited. And that's also coming out relatively soon. I think this is the last video I'll do about like world hosting mods. I covered the 3 big ones now, so I was like, okay, I explained what everything does, how every one of them works, and kind of the philosophy behind it. And I think that was fun, but I'm gonna start moving on to other stuff, maybe some server or a host or something. I've been looking on to Aternos, how they operate and stuff, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and I think I rambled for long enough. I'm gonna go now. Bye bye.